and at Magan to learn about avocado farming from a farmer called Benjamin Weiss. And then I met Ziv over there. And then since then, I've been focusing my activities in India. I've purchased avocado plants from Israel, and plants are currently in my nursery in Madhya Pradesh right now. And I've also started distributing the plants. I'm planning to start the distribution of plants in the near future. So that's how I met. Contacted Nani Ruja, and he's purchasing some plants from me. He's from Arunachal Pradesh. It's in the northeast of India.
Okay, next.
Guys,
Thank
Sanku,
you.
you are on a mute. I think you want to speak something. You are on a mute.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nani Ruja myself, and this is my dad. And we are the ones who are requiring the assistance. So thank you all very much for providing the assistance. And so would you like to start with the presentation, or should
yes,
we
but can you say a few words about you? What are you growing? How big is your plant? What are your plans in the future? What are you already growing?
Okay. So our place, as I wrote you on the mail, Mr. Ziv, that it's an area of 5.5 hectares, but the cultivable area is around 4.6. So we are going for mostly the Indian variety, and about you can say 60 to 70% will be Indian variety, but the rest, yeah, avocado. The rest are around 700 plants which we have already ordered with Harshit, and those are the Israel variety. So yeah, we are going through the process of like uh, arranging everything right now, but everything is not set up, and right now still we are working on it, and we needed some help regarding the estimation of the water quantities. So a rough idea we have, like I asked Mr. Mehdi, the Northeast representative here, and he made an estimate, but like it was like a large volume, like 80 liters per tree, 80 liters. So I asked you, like can we reduce it, like as per the requirements here? So you suggested of around 65 liters, right? And then and also you were recommending uniram instead of the pressure PCJ drippers. So regarding that, like what kind of stuff would you like to tell us? Is there a
Okay.
presentation or something?
Yes, there is a presentation. Just one more question. Today you are already growing something?
No. No, we have just planted around 22 seedlings, and we are just
Oh, but
observing like how they are doing.
are you growing anything else like wheat, banana, tomato?
Nothing.
Are you
Nothing.
farmer?
Nothing. Yeah, it
Are
will
you,
be completely avocado.
what is your?
No,
You don't have a history of agriculture.
no.
Basically, it was a paddy field. It was a paddy field, wet rice cultivation field. We have not cultivated paddy anymore there. We have let it drains away. We have managed to drain away the water stagnation for last summer season, this rainy season. It's all channelized, and the drainage system is done. And we are now our immediate requirement is the water supply system to each of the plants as you may prescribed, and the total plan that we have built rows, what we call the barns and this.
Big
So
bed.
we should have been able to present the current look of the ground. I have pictures in my mobile phone. I do not know how to show you that. Maybe my son will try doing something. If you look at our current position of the field, maybe you can visualize something and may be able to prescribe something. And as about anything standing in the entire plot, now we have just 22 avocado plants. We do not know the parental signature of the plant, the variety, but we have 1.5 year old 22 avocado plants that we got germinated at our home itself, and the seeds and the fruits were brought from Mizoram, another northeastern state of means India. Mizoram. It came from Mizoram. So we brought up fruit somewhere in January 19, January 20. Then got germinated around March, April, and grown to something like 1.5 feet tall by August 21. We planted it out into the field in August 21, and it is now about 2 meters high and all very healthy.
And you
And
didn't
we are
graft
not
it.
exactly using any kind of scientific irrigation system for watering, but my fellow down there in the field usually waters about a bucket full of water to each plant every morning. And last 1 year we have tried without giving water. We don't see any change in its coloration of the leaves and all. I just visited yesterday itself, and it seems it's all healthy.
So
You didn't graft it. You
yeah,
didn't
also
graft it.
no,
No,
it's not grafted. It's just
seed germinated.
seedlings. Yeah. So they germinated from the seeds, and they are just growing naturally. Like, we are not giving any kind of fertilizer or anything. We are just doing some manuring and stuff, like which is available there, like cow dung, manuring, and all those only, like very natural. And we are trying to mulch whatever is possible, but it's fairly natural. There is no added anything. And watering is just like, yeah, the guy over there, he will just spray over using a hose and nothing else. So later on, planting such a large volume, like a large number, will be like, watering will be difficult. That's why we require some proper system.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Harshit.
can I say something?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So regarding the plants that I'm supplying to them, those are all imported from Israel. The varieties are Pinkerton, Ettinger, Reed, Haas, and Lambhas, with majority being Haas and Lambhas. And the rootstocks are, I'm offering multiple rootstocks to them to figure out which rootstock is going to perform the best. The rootstocks are Degania 117, Ashdod 17, and Day.
Dig.
Okay. Thank you, Arshit. Just one question, guys. Before we start, I want to be sure that I understood correctly. Before you planted the avocado, it was rice paddy?
Yes.
Yeah, it was originally rice paddy.
Have you made, between the rice paddy and planting
No,
the
no, no.
avocado, have you made
The,
any, wait a minute, have you made any soil cultivation? Have you made ridges? Or you just planted?
no. We have done the complete soil work. Like, we changed the entire soil profile. We what we did was, it was a bit because of the previous, hello, yeah, because of the previous paddy cultivation. Like, it was done for over many years. The region was quite quite swampy. So what we did was, we carried some sand from the nearby river, like lots of sand, and we did an entire excavation thing there. So the entire soil profile has been changed now, and it's very sandy loam. Like, if even if you dig everywhere, it's sandy loam type. So it's not like the paddy area. And now there is no paddy over there. and it's completely, yeah.
Have you built raised beds?
Yes, yes, yes. And the height of the beds are around, you can say, 2 feet, and they are wide about 2 meters. And yeah, they are like long berms. If I can show you the photo again, which I sent to you. Uh, just a second, let me. Uh, okay. Am I sharing this? Am I sharing my screen? Can you see
Yes.
my
Yes.
screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Let me zoom. How do I do this? Yeah. So if you see here, no, this thing is obstructing my. Yeah.
Let's open it.
Yeah. So this is the land. You can see like. So you can see that the berms have been laid along this direction, and why why it is you are seeing as different profiles here, like there is a larger area of green vegetation coverage. Actually that is completely weed. Yeah, weed, and we have completely removed it, and this is like the open berms which you are seeing here. If you can see here, these are the open berms, and the distance between them is around 4.5 meters, so around 15 feet. And
Okay.
yeah, that's it. Those are the raised beds which you can see as shadows and highlights.
Okay.
And if you can see here, these are the 22 plants which we have planted. So these are the native species of Mizoram which were available, and we planted them just to see like how they react.
Okay. Thank you for this short introduction. The agenda for the next of the day will be that Danny, our avocado specialist from the agronomical point of view, will give a short presentation which describe our ideology about how to maintain a good avocado plantation. And then Narendra will touch the more marketing issues. So let's start the presentation. Hope by the end of the presentation,
Please mute the dogs. Mute the dogs. Someone.
by the end of this presentation, I hope you will understand why we think that the concept of integral drippers along the row is the most suitable for avocado plantation. So, Danny, the floor is yours.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I will give a brief about most of the things that concern avocado growing. I won't go deep in that, but I will speak about many things. So what is the agenda? Who we are, Netafim, some introduction and the challenges of growing avocado, field preparation, nursery and variety, what is the planting configuration, flowering, irrigation and monitoring, fertigation, frost and heat. I don't know if it's in the climate there you need it, if anyone knows, and pruning. In everything, I will just go very shortly because it's just shortly to go about all the subjects. So on Netafim, we are located, the headquarters located in Israel. We are the biggest irrigation company. We are working in 110 countries around the world. We are most of the avocado irrigation of the world are made by Netafim. So you can see that we are in the Americas, in Spain, Morocco, Israel, South Africa, and even other country. We specialize in agriculture project or an avocado project, any size, anywhere, almost any climate. If we're looking at the avocado production worldwide, you can see that most of the avocado produced in the Americas, in Africa, in South Africa, in the central of Africa, and Morocco, Australia and Indonesia, and China a bit. If we are looking on the world by country, Mexico is by far the biggest producer of avocado. And as you can see, most of the countries, the biggest countries are from America, except Indonesia. Now let's go deeply to the avocado. So first of all, the climatic and soil requirement. Very important, draining soil. We'll speak about it a bit later because you said that you're growing on where you grow rice. Should be frost-free. The temperature shouldn't go down 0 or minus 2 degrees. The best area are subtropical. Tropical we can grow, but the subtropical is more, it's better. A minimum day temperature during flowering 50 degrees. And during fruit set is 80 degrees. Very important, the induction of flowering should be below 50, or it's possible also at 20, but we need a temperature under 20 to get the induction to flowering. Extreme temperature of 35 degrees during flowering and fruit set can cause fruit drop. Avocado is very sensitive to salinity. That will be done. Now, before we start, if the avocado is very sensitive, it needs oxygen, and water that stands in the soil is very bad. So in this case, if we have a problem of that, we need to make ridges and also to plant cover crop that will take the water out of the field. Before the rainy season, cover crop are important for the first years, avoiding the soil erosion, like you can see in the right pictures, that you can see what happened if you don't have a cover crop and you have lots of rain. And as much as I remember the climate in India, it's very, very important, and also the ridges. Rootstock. So what kind of rootstock and what to choose? We choose the rootstock according to the soil. Different rootstock suitable for different soils. Also salinity, lime. The rootstock influence the fruit size. Some of them are disease resistance to Phytophthora. It influences the yield. And one of the biggest problem is the availability of the rootstocks, because many times you don't have available rootstock, and then you use local rootstock. Rootstock is something very important, because if you don't use the right rootstock, you can suffer in the future, and you can't fix it only by replacing the trees. The rootstock usually made from seeds and from special varieties that's suitable for use as a rootstock. It allows us to implement avocado cultivation into less adequate location for avocado. And especially if you have salinity, waterlogging, or other aspect, the right rootstock are very important. There are three races of avocado. I'm talking about it because it's important when you go in India and you see avocado trees. I suppose most of them are from West Indian, what we call West Indian race, because the other Guatemala and Mexicans are coming from the mountains of Central America, while the West Indian come from the plain, and they are more suitable for a tropical area. They are more suitable for heat. And usually the local variety in tropical area are West Indian. Everyone wants to grow Hass as the king of all variety. It's dominant the international markets. Its hybridization between Guatemalan and Mexican variety, its excellent taste, change color to black when ripe, has good shelf life. It is a big tree, but it's not so productive. Hass, although it's all the market demand has, for growing avocado, it's not so good of a variety. I suppose that you are looking for a local market, because to go to export, you need to do good training. You need to keep the tree in refrigerator all the time and have a short way to send it to export. So there are other variety which for local and even to the end and the beginning of the market are very good variety. So the main variety are divided to green skin varieties, which are not turning to black. Reed is a big fruit that is in the end of the market. Fuerta is like in the center of the market. Ettinger, Israeli variety that in the beginning of the market. And Pinkerton is variety that is very productive, and variety that's suitable for hot area and give very nice yield. All of them are green skin. Now, speaking about black skin variety that look like us, you can see in the picture that the harvest variety look very similar to us. The problem with harvest is very sensitive to frost. So even 2 or 3 degrees can cause him a problem. But if in your area you don't have a frost danger, you can use this variety too. And it's very productive. It's a white tree, and it needs a picker for harvesting. Other black variety like Lambhas and Gem are much more productive than Hass. The Lambhas doesn't look so much like Hass, but it turns the color to black. It's in the end of the season. Maluma is another variety. It's in the beginning of the season. Also look very similar to Hass. It's a bigger fruit. All those variety can be grown maybe in your area. Some of them you need to pay royalties to use them. Planting configuration. Of course, it depends on variety and the growth habit of the trees in your area, because some of the variety like Lambhas, you can plant in more density, while Hass, which is a big tree, you should plant with a bigger density between the trees. So it should be between 5 to 7 meters between the rows and 3 to 6 meters between the trees. Use 2 drip lines. Flowering and pollination. For developing flower buds, you need a period of low temperature under 20 degrees. You need balance between leaves and yield. tree in good condition. It needs light, irrigation, good fertilizers, and oxygen. Flower buds start to develop in the autumn when the temperature are falling down, and they should follow in the springtime, depends on the climate. If you have enough low temperature, it will all flower together. But if you don't have enough low temperature, you'll have longer wave of flowering. You need also a pollinator variety for avocado. To get better yield, you should plant not only Hass or Maluma or anyone, but you should plant another variety. And this is very important to get better yield. The distance between the cultivars must be minimal. The overlap between cultivars flowering, because some of them flowering early, some of them flowering late, so it must be good. And we need pollinators like honeybees to improve the yields. Now let's go to our subject, irrigation. Why to irrigate avocado? You said in the beginning that you didn't irrigate and you get very nice growth. So first of all, as I understand your trees, you started from seeds, and this is the problem. When you grow just seeds, usually develop very quick, but the flowering, the yield, and the quality can be a problem. So irrigation gives you a quicker development of the trees and the seedlings. Avocado is very stress sensitive. Water stress induces fruit and leaf drop. And of course, because of that, reduce the yield when you don't irrigate. Irrigation will give higher yield and improve the fruit size. You can see in the right picture what happens, that the seed coat is dead and the seed, and then the fruit is dropping. Another thing that you see, that then what we call the ring neck, that make the tree falls from the tree. If we are looking on the root distribution around and in the depth close to the tree, we can see that most of the roots are in the upper part. 87% of the roots are in the 20 centimeters depth. This means that we need something to irrigate. It's that the avocado has very shallow roots, and we need to get there with the water and the fertilizers. This is just to show what happens in a heavy soil. The water are going to the side, while in the light soil, the water are going deeper. Also, if we irrigate with a lower flow, we'll get a better irrigation that will get the water to the sides, and it can get better to the root zones. So special challenges in avocado irrigation. As we said in the beginning, that most of the roots are in the upper 20 centimeters. It has a high water requirement. It's very sensitive to water stress, but it's inefficient in extracting moisture from the soil. It's very sensitive to overwatering, very important fact that you have to be careful with that. The food roots have a high oxygen requirement. Water stress induce leaf and fruit drop. Now we get into your main question, irrigation, how much? So I won't get to any part here, but you will get this picture. We divide the stages of the avocado growth to a different phenological stages. Like you can see, the flowering, the fruitlet growth, fruit growth, and in the end to the harvest. And every time we use different KC. I hope you know what is KC. And according to that, we irrigate different amount according to the evaporation and the KC, and we irrigate different amount of water. Okay, that's it. About a young plant, we give to the different stages of the tree from the beginning that it starts. This is by liter per tree per day. So you can see in the beginning we give 8 liters, and then it grow slowly to 10, 15, and 20 liter in the first year. The fertilizer that we give to the young trees is also per tree, and you can see it's like 5 gram of nitrogen, 2 gram of PTO5, and 5 gram of K. Of course, you don't have to fertilize every day, but at least every few days. When you're using it through the fertigation, you should do it with every irrigation. It changed from year to year, and it's going from year to year, the water amount and the fertilizer. Take notice that we wrote here cool. Sorry. That we wrote here cool or hot. So if you have hotter temperature, you need to irrigate a bit more than we wrote here. But the idea is to give per plant, and I'll show you how you calculate it when you clog, or how you improve it when you clog between the trees. What the irrigation method that we recommend: use 2 drip line, 2 to 3 drip lines per row, like you can see in the picture, 0.5 meter between dripper spacing. Flow rate should be between 0.7 to 2.3 liter per hour, depend on the quality of your water. You can use Uniram or drip net. Ring plug in the first years that you can see here, and we'll talk about it later. You can see the roots of the avocado in this picture. When you irrigate with a drip line, and the root develop very nicely. We use the Uniram, which is a pressure compensated dripper. It's continual self-flushing, which is very important. It keeps it clean. It's anti-siphon mechanism. And deliver precise and equal amount of water and assure 100% uniformity of water and nutrient distribution along the lateral. This is a very important factor in the orchards. Also, drip net PC can be used, but because you're planting for a long time, it's better to use Uniram, to use very good drip line, because you're holding it for 15 years or something like that, and you want it to work all the years and to keep it in a good shape. It's a bit early, but the idea is to use a fertigation machine. I leave the Indian company to speak about it later, but we'll speak about in a few slides about the importance of use fertigation all around the year, and not to do podcast by hands, because the best way is to have fertigation all around the year. The drip irrigation, also under avocado tree, there's a natural mulch. You can see that the leaves are falling and covering the drip, not in the first year, but after a few years. When you move the leaves to the side, you can see that very nice roots are developing under the drip lines and under the natural mulch. And when you use drip, it's very good to do that, and and give very good condition for the root to develop. Now, in the first years, we clog the drippers between the trees by using this clogging ring. And you can see here that close to the tree, we irrigate, and here we are clogging the drippers. And you see my mouse, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. We clog in, so we irrigate only close to the tree. This is the best way. If not, you need to calculate in the first year that this water are not effective. When you do that, you don't waste water and fertilizer, and you don't get weeds in this area. So it's important to clog this in the first years, and after that to open, because the root in the second year, they're already getting to between the trees. So you can see here the first year with the clogging, and in the second year, you can put the second drip line. Again, block drippers between trees. Sometimes people think about micro sprinklers, only it's demand more maintenance, wets the trunk of the tree and can cause disease, needs more water to penetrate the leaf mulch, as I explained before. It brings more weeds, and actually we think it's better to use drip line and not micro sprinklers. It will be much more effective. Fertigation. Continuous fertigation kept the leaves and the fruit. In this trial, we did it in the left picture. It was fertigate all the time with NPK and microelements. In the central picture and in the right picture, the fertigation started late in the season and only after fruit set. What you can see that when we didn't fertigate all around the season, what happened is that the leaf fell. And when the leaf fell, we got less fruit and less yield. Here, what happened when we fertilized in different way. T1 was continuous fertigation. We got more fruit and bigger fruit. When we started the fertigation later, we got less fruit and the fruit was smaller. When we fertigate half of the amount, also we got much less fruit and fruit size. And when we did a big break in the fertigation, we got very low yield and fruit size. So continuous fertigation improved the number and the weight of the fruit. Also, when we look on the fruit development, you can see in the left picture the fruit growth, the fruit weight, and during the fruit weight, the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium accumulation inside the fruit, which means we need to fertigate all around the season to supply the fertilizer uptake of the fruit. Tell me if you need to speak about frost and heat mitigation.
Yeah, that would be beneficial.
Okay. So during frost, depends on how long is the frost and how the temperature, how much they are going down. In the beginning, it kills the young leaves, and after that, the branches and the fruit set and the flowering. Of course, when they kill the branch, they kill, even if it's not flowering, it kills the buds that gonna flower. So during frost, can cause very strong damage to the tree. Heat damage causing during flowering and fruit set, and even later can drop most of the fruits. So what we can do against it, we use frost mitigation practice. We use micro sprinklers or sprinklers. It's spread, never mind on the mechanism of that, but this brings also hot water, not I mean hot water, but water with a higher temperature. And in a case of frost, it avoiding the or reducing the damage of the frost. And in case of heat, it it reduces the temperature and bring higher humidity. The same system are good for frost and for heat mitigation.
I had one question.
Yeah.
So, in Nani Ruja's place, I don't think heat would be a problem. But in my conditions in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, the conditions are similar to Magan. So my focus is not on Haas and Lambas. My focus is mainly on greenskin like Pinkerton, Ettinger, and Reed. So would that also require micro sprinklers to prevent heat damage, or would that work without it as well?
It depends on your climate. It depends how lower you go. If it's go, you can go under zero or under -2, you should
No, I'm
use
talking
them.
about heat. We don't have a frost problem.
If you don't have frost and not heat problem,
We have heat problem.
you have heat problem.
Yes.
What temperature during the fruit set
Okay. During
flowering?
set, fruit
Ah,
set it's all right. During fruit set, it usually doesn't go above 35. But during fruit development, it can go up to 42 or 41. So that's why I'm focusing on
you
Pinkerton.
should use it because also you say usually it doesn't go to 35, but usually doesn't not important enough because depends if sometimes it goes.
Yeah.
It's better. It will pay back because it reduce your fruit drop and maybe even give you a bigger fruit.
Right.
What you need to see that the quality of your water, that it's good water and not saline water, because if it's saline water, it can cause damage.
Okay.
Your water is in good quality.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
good. I would suggest you to use it
Yeah.
and make it work at 32 degrees,
Yeah.
and I suppose it will pay back quite quickly.
Okay.
If you want to save water, we can use a localized micro sprinkler that will
And just a
protect.
second. Another question I had was, does the same sprinkler that works for frost also works for heat, or is it different?
Same.
Okay.
Not exactly, because for heat we need less water than we need to frost. For frost we need to get 3 millimeters, while in heat we don't need so much water.
Yeah.
So you can reduce the amount of water that we give to the trees. But actually, same system can support both. But when you want to order, we will explain. We'll get exactly to the points what should be suitable to this area.
Okay.
So we have two different way of doing this mitigation. One is we call it a localized irrigation, that we irrigate only above the canopy. In this case, we save water, that we don't irrigate the roads, and we can use less water. The problem is, but I think in your area, since you don't have such a big orchard, it can be good. The problem is that you need to do it for every tree. You need a micro sprinkler for every tree. If you use our pulsar, which give pulses, you even reduce the amount of water that you need. Um, as I said, for your area, I think it should work well. But if you don't have a problem of amount of water, you can use sprinklers that taking a bigger area. That a small video that shows you the pulsar, how it works with pulses. You can see it, it's on every tree. And it's protect, we have quite a lot of experience about it, and it worked very nice and worked well. Few words about pruning. Very important that the tree will see the sun from all over the tree. You can see in the lower row that the leaves are only, or the blue color is where the trees see the lights. I saw mango trees in India, which are 10 meters without producing. And if you want open the trees for light like that, this is one way, but you can do it in different way by cutting one branch. It's very important that the tree will get the light and all the tree will produce. So if I want to summarize this presentation, we need to choose a good variety, high population, spacing between 5 to 7 between rows, 3 to 4 meters between trees, drip irrigation and nutrition, induction of flowering. We need the low temperature to get the flowering. We need to add pollinator variety. Most of the variety from type B. Type A will be that the pollinator variety, you should use something like Ettinger, Fuerte, and there are other variety also. We have to do pruning. In all this, we'll get easy harvesting and management. In case of heat or frost danger, we need to use frost and heat mitigation. Well, that's for my point.
Guys, before we move to Nerandra's talking about products, I want to emphasize something. Danny, can you please go to the slide where the roots of the avocado is being shown, please?
Yeah. You mean the schematic or the?
No, the picture of the subsurface, in the soil, under the soil.
See?
Okay. Yes. Can you just make it on a presentation mode so it will be... Okay, guys, we had a discussion about in the mails about what kind of drip line and laterals and drip spacing we should apply.
Right.
What you see here is the drip line between two trees. Okay, this trench, this ditch, this hole is between the two trees. And you see how many roots there are between the trees. Okay, this is exactly why we recommended a lateral, a drip line with drippers every at least 50 centimeters. If the soil is sandy, so okay, go down even to 40 centimeters. This way, we are making sure that the full volume of the roots will be wetted, and not only the close to the drippers as it in a PCJ or PC drippers. It's highly important. The less wetted volume that you will have, less vegetation that you'll have, and less production that you will have. And this is exactly why we initiated this meeting, in order to emphasize this issue. This is correct in for every tree crop. It's much more important for avocado, which the roots are high, shallow, and wide along all the roots, along all the row. It is much more important in sandy and on ridges, because if the aeration is good, also the water are going down, and we want to make the whole area wet. And last but not least is the fertigation issue. Danny talked about it very slightly. When we are talking about avocado, nutrition is very, very important. And when you give irrigation for avocado, our recommendation is to give irrigation with fertilizers at every irrigation. Again, this is important for every tree crop. It's much more important for avocado. And in your situation, where you have rain very much in the season, the nutrition is going to be very, very important, because the upper level is very leached from nutrients. So during the rainy season, you will need to apply fertilizers, very small amount of water with concentrated juice, concentrated fertilizers, to make sure that despite that this is the rainy season, the trees continue to grow up and preparing for roots. Before I will pass the table to Dubi, Danny, can you please skip the slides to the slide of the new plantation, where you see yes, exactly this one. And okay. So here you see a young plantation, and you see the wet area, dry, wet, dry. Now this is a young plantation, so this is okay. But when this kind of plantation is going to be mature, the trees are going to touch each other, and also the roots are going to be everywhere. So if it's going to be everywhere, the roots are going to be also where it says now dry. But with the PCJ strategy, water and fertilizers are not going to get to this dry area. If you will maintain a continuous lateral with a dripper every half a meter, 40 centimeters, then in between the trees, you will have water and nutrients that will make sure that the trees will grow and be vegetative and productive much more than with a PCJ dripper every 4 meters, 4.5 meters. So this was very important to say. Dubi, you wanted to say something?
It's exactly the same what I wanted to say, what you said now. But the idea here, they have more rain than in Israel. So the root distribution all over the year is much more. And when you come to the irrigation time, when there's no rain, and you work only with PCJ, you're working on very small amount of roots. So this completes what you said. So in their case, it's even worse than what we have in Israel. This is the point.
Okay. Someone else want to say something? Shanku? Yes?
Yes, yes. Yeah. So that's concerning that exactly the same point. I was thinking, like, what if we go for micro sprinklers instead? Like, instead of the Uniram, if it's spreading much more, then micro sprinkler would be better, right?
Danny, you want to answer this?
Yes, I answered it in the presentation, but I will do it again here. When you use micro sprinklers, you get much more weeds, much more maintenance, and you can cause disease by wetting the trunk. And also, as I told you before, you have a kind of mulch of leaf. if you look here, you see that you need in the left picture, you need to penetrate the mulch of the leaves. And the drip line is under it, usually, because the mulch is falling on the drip line. And the micro sprinklers, when you irrigate it, it takes time and you waste water, and water is also evaporated from the mulch and from everywhere, and that causes you also wasting more water when you use micro sprinklers. So therefore, and we can see that it works very good. The drip line, it's not something that no one knows. We actually have very long experience, and in many places in the world, that is an excellent solution, and I would recommend using drip line.
Just to emphasize, yes, micro sprinklers are an option, but if you are going and you are looking for a smaller system, so drip line or drippers are much more efficient, and therefore you can be much more efficient with the water, and in your case, even with the fertilizer, not even, with the fertilizers, and going for low volume of system means smaller systems, much more cost effective, and this is why we recommend it. I'm not saying that it's not possible to go good on micro sprinklers, but we think that under your conditions, drippers will give you better results with less losses of water and energy and fertilizers. Narendra, you want to show the product issue, please?
Can I say something? Just a minute.
Yes.
Yes.
Even in
Narendra, wait a minute, Narendra, you take control of the screen and get ready while Harshit is asking his question.
Now, I'm just adding to Shanku's point, his question, that even in Magan, I saw micro sprinklers, but as I spoke to Benny over a period of last 3 years, then he's also saying that they shifted all it to drip, like drip lines and not using micro sprinklers.
Okay, so if
Ben is not the only one.
If Harshit touched the issue of Magan, so yes, Magan was one of the last growers that used the micro sprinklers for avocado, and in the past 3.5 years, every year, Magan in their avocado, changed from micro sprinklers to drip, and today in Magan there are no more micro sprinklers, only drip. For Magan, the main issue was maintenance. We assume that maintenance of micro sprinklers is about 15% higher, making sure that the micro sprinklers stand like this, no cuts in the macaroni tube, no breaks. And since in Israel the maintenance or the labor is very, very expensive, so today no micro sprinkler in Magan, only drip.
And also I can tell you that I myself used to grow avocado with micro sprinklers because of the maintenance, because if the micro sprinklers move to the side and then it start to wet even the branches and the road between the trees, we decided to change to drip 20 years ago. And as Ziv said, I think Benny was the last one in Israel that changed from micro sprinklers to drip.
Narendra, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. And I got a lot of insight about the avocado. But what I can conclude one thing, that at least 2 drip lines we should go ahead with this one with the discharge of say 1 liter to 2 liter. With the spacing of around 0.30 to 50 centimeter max to max, because root zone of the crop is hardly 80%, 87% of root zone is within 20 centimeter of soil depth. As of now, I don't have the presentation of Uniram and DNPC, but the most of the things was covered in the Dani's presentation. And both the products, Uniram and DNPC is already with us in India, and we have the production of these two drip lines. But
And
yeah.
also what I said, it's a paddy field. We don't really need too much compensation. And Arias, I think I wrote you a mail. I think Arias can do the job also. We should look at the farmers, capabilities, and the subsidy scheme goes for the Arias. It will not go for the Uniram. So we need two drip lines, that's for sure, with the spacing of 50, 40 centimeters. But again, we can look on the price and the economics and decide together with the client what exactly we will supply.
I had a question.
Yeah.
So I've used PCJ, and for that, you get the dripper separately and you attach it to the drip line, the lateral line, right? How does that work in Uniram? Like, is it an external product that you attach it to the drip line, or does it come attached?
No.
So it's an integral drip line. It's a drippers.
Inside.
Are
It's
inside.
It's inside.
Yeah.
I suggest you use the line that you use for the PCJ, you use for heat mitigation in the future. You can use it for, and I hope it will be suitable for use it for the heat mitigation, and you have to put a new drip lines.
No. The PCJ that I used, that was for a different plantation. That was for dragon fruit.
Okay, no, just to make sure that you understand, Arshit.
Yeah.
When we are talking about DripNet and Uniram and Aris, what was mentioned in this conversation, all of those drippers are coming with the drip line, with the lateral, already inserted from the internal part of the lateral. Okay? You can go into our site, or better yet, to go into Netafim India site and look for Uniram, and you will see that the dripper is inserted within the internal part of the drip line, and there is a hole on the wall, and the water are coming out. Narendra, I'm sure, will be able to explain it much better in Indian, so you will understand it. The advantage of it, that you don't need to work. It comes in the roll, and you just put it on the soil, and you start the irrigation.
Okay.
Like Danny said, if you want to clog drippers between the trees, there are because you want to save water, or you want to save fertilizers, or you don't want to create weeds. So there are options for the first year to use a ring that goes over the lateral. Exactly what Danny is showing right now. So this ring, and you see the hole of the dripper. The ring goes over the hole and clog it for the first years. So this is the possibility. I have to admit, if you won't do it, it's not going to be a big disaster. You're going to waste some water, and you're going to waste some fertilizers, not something dramatically. So this is the difference between inline drippers and online drippers. Narendra, please take them with person to person to make sure that they understand the difference.
Sure. I'm just presenting. I'm presenting this one. This was exactly the PCJ has to be put on the lateral. However, the DNPC, Aries, and Uniram will be inside the lateral. I will show you in the next slide.
Okay.
This is what is the advantages of in Hindi. This is the complete system. I will straight away go to this is the integral system. The dripper is inside the lateral, like this one.
Okay.
Narendra, can you go back to the slide with this is it. This is the house. Can you go back to the slide with the soils, please?
Yes. This one, yeah.
Yes. So this here we see the difference in water distribution in different soil characteristic. So you see that in your case, I guess that your soil definitely after the cultivation that you have made is somewhere between light soil and medium soil, maybe a bit more to the light soil because of the ridges, because of the beds. And therefore the water distribution goes down very much. And this is why we recommend to bring more drippers per meter to make sure that there is a connection of wetted strip line along the row and not to make islands of wetted area. So this is also important to understand. Guys, anything else? I hope you agree with us that after this presentation, the best solution for you is an integral 2 drip line system with fertigation machine. If not, Narendra will make sure that you will.
Yeah, I will take it further later on by discussing individual, by surveying the plot and all, and explaining them properly about the DNPC and Uniram.
Excellent.
I had a question. Since this presentation was quite insightful, would it be possible for me to get a copy of the presentation? Like I saw it was recorded earlier. So can you send me the file later on?
Danny?
Okay.
Because I have multiple farmers who would find this insightful. So I was thinking of uploading it on my channel if it's okay with you guys.
Yeah, I also think maybe we'll have to recall back on certain issues in future. So
Yes.
if Harsis has the material, I think he's accessible to us, and then it will be very helpful for all of us. And to conclude, I think I must thank all of you for sharing your experiences and your recommendations. We take note of that, and then we would be discussing again with Mr. Maddy, who had been to my float and had surveyed the area, and then we'll again narrate him your recommendations, and then maybe we get back to Harsis once again after things are finalized with Mr. Maddy. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay. Narendra? Narendra, I have recorded this meeting. So if you want to use it, your clients, so it's in the Teams platform, and you can share it with your clients. So feel free.
Thank you. Yes, we will use it. Yeah.
Maybe I will add just one more comment. I think we are in a way with some kind of historical moment. I mean, Harshit is working on it for a few years, but the penetration of avocado to India is just start now. We have a lot of experience and knowledge, and when you grow it in ped rice, it's something simple. When you grow it on mountains and other places, I think we have the Netafim has the right solution for this. And also when the tree is growing, also the problems are growing. So we'll be like to be on your side along this journey, because I believe we can help.
Thank you so much. I would need your help.
You're welcome.
Good. Keep in touch, Harshit. Guys, Narendra.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you very much, Donnie, you and Dubai and Harshit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Harshit, I would like
Thank
to show you some photographs of double drip line.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. This is what dragon fruit we have in Raipur
Right.
with live mulching as well.
Yeah.
This one is the live mulching.
Yeah.
So this is a regular trend over here nowadays. Live mulching with 2 drip lines.
Yeah.
And this is custard apple with live mulching and double drip line.
Okay.
This is papaya with live mulching again.
Yeah.
That is with double drip line, and that too Uniram, which is in Chhattisgarh, Jagdalpur.
Okay.
This is guava with double drip line,
Right, with trellising.
with espalier trellising.
Yeah.
This is this is again with subsurface.
Yeah.
What happened if you go with a single dripper over here? That is kind of a spot irrigation kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even we do not recommend a single drip line.
I did that mistake with my dragon fruit farm, but what I did to mitigate was to add micro tube to the to the single drip line and attach it to at the behind.
Okay, okay. This is what we are putting one more drip line for mulching also, so
Okay.
that mulching will sustain in the.
But I had
Uh,
a question. So if you mulch the tree, right, with like live mulching that you showed, then how would we add compost and vermiculture?
we are not mulching. We are not giving live mulching to the tree. It is in between the tree.
Wait, so,
Live mulching is in between the tree, and we are
then what is
giving
this
separate
plastic?
irrigation system for this live mulching.
Acha.
It is not combined with this one.
Okay.
The submain and the main line is totally different for irrigation and fertigation of your main crop
Yeah.
and for your grass.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Yeah, yeah,
It's totally different.
uh,
Yeah, here it is.
yeah.
If you want to put compost, you have to just open this mulching sheet and then put and then close it.
Okay, okay.
If you want to put
I
this,
misunderstood you. I thought you were saying live mulching, so I thought it was probably some your it was talking about the plastic mulch. But yeah, now I get it. Like the
no, no,
live mulch.
live means this grass.
Yeah,
Live
yeah.
mulching grass.
Hmm.
Even Danny was sharing the same thing.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
it was a grass, and
Yeah,
it was in between the rows, not in between the tree.
yeah. So what like what's
Dub
which
grass,
specific plant is that in the for
dub,
live mulching? Which grass do you use?
dub grass,
Okay,
dub. Yeah,
okay. Right, right, right.
I will share you some photographs on your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
This is again dragon fruit, banana. We are using two drip lines.
Yeah.
Papaya, we are regularly using two drip lines.
Uh,
So this is a trend nowadays. Even pomegranate, you will find two drip lines. Grapes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had other issues also. So as you know, these facilities are like not available very easily to us. So somehow we contacted Mr. Mehdi, and we are he told that it can be arranged. So we are going with it, and we are not sure that all the products will be available here.
Now
So
all the
that's one
products
another
will be
issue.
made. We have one dealer over there in Siliguri, and from there, all the products will be made available to you.
Okay.
also one thing,
Yeah.
Narendra, that I require arrow drippers, and I've been talking to the dealer in Bhopal, but I couldn't get hold of it. So can you look into it and make it available as soon as possible?
Yes, that is in shortage since last 2 3 months because of COVID, and our consignment are not regular from Israel,
Hmm.
and that's the reason is getting delayed. At least it will take another 60 to 70 days to get it in India. These arrow drippers.
Okay. So I had
Yeah.
a question.
Ah,
Uh, there are other arrow drippers available to me from another company, but those are 2 liters per hour, right?
ah, yeah.
But the dripper that I'm using with
Ah.
the manifold, that's 4 liter per hour, and then the manifold is one each. So that's would I get 1 liter per hour, or would I get more after I attach a 2 liter arrow dripper to it?
You are attaching four arrow dripper per dripper or two arrow drippers?
Four.
Four.
Four per dripper, and the arrow dripper capacity is 4 liter per hour. And sorry, the
Two.
arrow, yeah, 2 liter per hour, and the dripper capacity is 4 liter per hour.
Not an issue. You will get at least equal discharge from all the aerotroopers.
Okay.
It will distribute at least 1 liter
Okay, got
everywhere.
it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So shall we conclude now?
Yeah, we can conclude now. Narenji, can you please send me the recording of the file when you get time?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for arranging the call and guiding us with your experience. Really appreciate it.
So thank you, Nani, and thank you, Danny. We will be in touch with you for more information on this. And Harshit, we will be definitely in touch in coming 15 days. Yeah, so that we can plan your system properly designed and give you the right products. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
See
Yeah.
you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.